It may be snowing where you are, but as Steve Evans and I were transported back in time to this day, September 1st, at Indianapolis Raceway Park, the sun's shining and it is hot. And Warren Johnson resetting himself in the lane. He is against Bruce Allen. Johnson has got the lane choice, but he did not like where he was lined up. So he backed up, repositioned himself. Starter Buster Couch said, bring it to the starting line. Let's get ready to race. Just because Warren Johnson has the quicker elapsed time of the two, and he was the #1 qualifier, don't count Bruce Allen out. He is a two-time winner of this race in 1985 and 86. Sets low ET of the main at a 7:33, 188 miles an hour, but he has to overcome a hole shot by Bruce Allen. Watch the car in the far lane. That bright yellow Beretta moves quick, and it gets out ahead of Johnson's Oldsmobile. As they reach the halfway point, Warren Johnson had started to close the gap until, as they neared the finish line, 1,320 feet away from the starting line, the Oldsmobile was beginning to show its dominance. Warren Johnson pulled alongside and then ahead and took the victory by a margin of 15,000.
Well, you told us earlier there was more in this girl, and there was. 7:33, you drove around Bruce Allen.
I saw him put a little fender on me, and this Oldsmobile just powered right by that Chevrolet. I mean, I am happy.
You can't do worse than 10 grand now.
Oh, that's great.
Well, I haven't seen him this heavy in a long time.
Steve, as Warren celebrates down at the far end of the track, our last pair of cars in this round of 4 get set for eliminations. This is the Pontiac of Jerry Ekman. He is in the far lane, the man with the lane choice. Here on the near side of the racetrack, the Oldsmobile of Larry Morgan, the defending champ. And again from behind comes the Oldsmobile. Morgan wins it 7:35 at 187 miles an hour. And another big hole shot by the car that did not have the quicker elapsed time. We're talking, in this case, about Jerry Ekman over in the far lane. Ekman moved nearly 0.05 of a second ahead of Larry Morgan. That's a big distance to make up at the finish line, and Morgan in his Oldsmobile was up to the task. From this point on, about halfway down the racetrack, it was all Larry Morgan. All Ekman could do is watch that green, white, and red machine pull up alongside and then passed him, putting Morgan in the finals for the second year in a row to race the same opponent he did a year ago. Warren Johnson and Larry Morgan, a pair of Oldsmobiles, with WJ getting to pick the lane. Steve?
Larry, you didn't win that by more than a coat of paint.
Well, it doesn't matter as long as I won. That's all that matters.
And you had to come from behind to do it.
Well, you know, I knew I was a little bit late when I looked over and Jerry's ahead of me, so I thought I'd just have to step on a little bit harder.
Well, I'll tell you, hit passing gear, but you've lost lane choice. You're 7:35, not matching Warren 7:33.
That's okay. I'll just have to do the best I can to win. You know, I want to drive well to win.
All right, the finalists are set, and they're both driving Oldsmobiles.
The Hurst Mr. Gasket Pro Stock Finals next.
Welcome back, everyone, to Indianapolis and the Mr. Gasket Hurst Pro Stock Challenge. Just the final round remains. $50,000 to the winner, $10,000 to the runner-up. And Dave, do you realize how much money you and I could make if we were less than honorable? I mean, these fans love to wager on their favorites. We could kill them. Think of all the NFL games we know who won this season. Get me to Vegas, Atlantic City, any sports book, anywhere. And also, I've been looking for maybe that DeLorean from Back to the Future with the old guy that played Jim in Taxi, because I don't know how we're getting out of here, and I'm getting worried.
Steve, the last time I saw that DeLorean, it was hit by a train. On the starting line, all they're thinking about is making enough horsepower to win $50,000. The defending champ, Larry Morgan, now repositioning himself. He does not have the lane choice, and we have found the quicker car always selecting the near lane where Warren Johnson sits with his Oldsmobile Cutlass. $50,000 to the winner, $10,000 to the runner-up. The finals of the Hurst Mr. Gasket Pro Stock Challenge. the second year in a row, picks up the $50,000 payday. The crew offering congratulations to themselves. And inside that race car, you know, Warren Johnson has got to be as disappointed as anybody, leaving a red light on the starting line and for the second year in a row, losing to Larry Morgan. Watch again. You'll see just how quick Warren Johnson was when he left the starting line too soon. That's what the red light indicates, a disqualification for leaving the starting line before the green light comes on. There you see it. Warren Johnson with the red light, Larry Morgan with the green light, and 50 grand in his pocket. Steve?
Dave, Larry Morgan coasted up here with the biggest smile you have ever seen, his helmet already off. $50,000 2 years in a row.
Happy anniversary to my wife. Today's our anniversary.
Oh, what a present.
Yeah, what a present.
What happened to your car?
I shook the tires real bad. I don't know what happened. Thank God that he red lighted.
Would you have stayed with it had he not red lighted?
No, there isn't any way I could. I was nearly sideways. In fact, I let off of it to keep from crossing the center line. I definitely have to thank Castro, Oldsmobile, Bob Pinella, my wife, Jimmy Oliver, Andy Magnus.
All the guys back at the shop.
All the guys back at the shop, Gary Pearman, Tom Roberts.
Happy anniversary.
And happy anniversary to my wife. I couldn't be any happier.
Well done, well done. Larry Morgan has won it.
And Steve, he has proved once again that luck can play a major role in taking a victory. He earned the right to race in the final round, but he got the big break against Warren Johnson, and for the second year in a row, takes the title. NHRA Today has been brought to you by Castrol GTX Motor Oil, engineered for today's smaller cars. And by Firestone, makers of Firehawk Performance tires for the street, the track, and the strip. Tires that meet the test. Promotional consideration provided for and a fee paid by this special offer from Diamond P.
For years, you've all loved Diamond P Sports Home Video, Decade of Thrills, the ultimate drag racing experience. Well, I've got some great news. Don Perdomo and I are back with the all-new 90-minute Decade 2, the thunder of the 80s. Eddie Hill cracks the fours, then flies away. Connie Coletta marches past 290. Ed McCullough and John Collins will never forget the Cajun Nationals of 84, nor Kenny Bernstein, Maple Grove, PA, 87. Glidden won his 50th and his 75th in the same decade. It's all in Decade of Thrills, too. To get your copy, send $24.95 to the address in your screen, or better yet, call 1-800-767-1600. Visa and MasterCard accepted, no CODs. Call now, 1-800-767-1600.
Larry Morgan, and the symbolic $50,000 check is the champion of the Hurst Mr. Gasket Pro Stock Challenge. Steve?
David, I don't know about you, but they put me in this goofy machine in New York. They zap me to Indianapolis. They say when the Pro Stock part of the race is over, go down to that big grassy field at the far end, and you'll get a ride back. Well, I'm in the grassy field watching qualifying for a race that happened months ago. What are they going to do? Beam me up? What is that noise? John, Force? Force? What are you doing here?
What do you think I'm doing here? I come here to get you?
This is not a time machine, it's a motor scooter.
It's not. It's all we got.
You got here on this?
You bet. We're leaving on it.
You're taking me back to winter on this?
Same guys that sent you here sent me here to get you.
What about McClellan?
Hey, not room enough. Gotta go. Let's hit it.
Maybe. Force, Force, look out for the bear!
NHRA Today has been a presentation of Diamond P Sports. Steve, how am I going to get home?